Hello ladies, this is Zeffy. Today I have another tag. As you all know, I have a little bit of a dress fetish at the moment. I studied dress designing a long while back, and I think somehow it's the urge to make dresses is resurfacing. This tag I created for the Get Creative Challenge blog. They've started introducing tags into their challenges, and I was a winner in May, I think. No, April. This is for April, so I'm guest designer this month for June. And they have a color challenge. So the colors for this month were red, grey, white and black. And after the colorful tags that I'd made the previous months, I was a little bit challenged with this color scheme. So what I did was I dug through my stash and I pulled out a couple of papers that might have been useful. And I eventually decided to use these. They're from Dovecraft, and this is the range, Eastern Promise, and I chose that one. I pulled out everything that was red, black and grey from my stash, and so I used those. And then I discovered this girl called Jeanette on Scrapping Happy. She lives in Australia, and she does the most amazing things with lace. And she had done pleated paper and lace dresses, and I loved that. And I knew I wanted to use pleating, and her one tag had a coat hanger as well, and I liked that idea too. In fact, I've liked a lot of ideas of Jeanette's. Thank you, Jeanette, for the inspiration. Anyway, so that was my starting point. I didn't have thick wire, so I asked my daughter if she had thick wire at home, and she did. So I asked her to make me a coat hanger, and she made that plus a lot more that we will be selling if anyone's interested in them. Anyway, besides that, so I started. So I was wondering how I was going to get this dress. First I thought I'll use this old Tim Holtz dye. Can you see? In fact, I had even started coloring it, and then I changed my mind. So what I did was I just traced the bust, the whole torso, and I cut it out twice on cardboard, it was cardboard from cereal boxes, and I pasted it back to back, and I put a tiny little piece of paper in the top here to give it some dimension. So that's how I started making my dress. I cut papers on the concertina flower dye. I cut 3 layers, and I embossed them with silver embossing just to give it some dimension. I don't know if you can see that. And then I wrapped ribbon around the torso, and I added stickles. And I added the stickles right at the end so that I don't mess with it. And of course I didn't put the tag down and walk away. I started faffing with it, and so I dipped my fingers in it, and then I fixed it, and then I dipped my fingers in it again, so it was a little bit of a disaster. So what I did with the tag was, it's white cardboard. I used a basic grey paper. I'm not sure what paper this was. It was a rack, so it was just a sheet of paper, and you can see it's got a little bit of red writing underneath there, and it almost looks like it's gessoed, so I didn't do much for it except put a little bit of stickles on the background. And then I embossed it with black soot. I used black soot ink and a silver embossing powder. I just added some blossom onto it because it was a little bit empty. And then I used some black stickles as well to make the dots. That I did right at the end. I put a bit of lace down just to add some texture. And this is some Tim Holtz washi tape that says Majestic and Theatre. And I thought it fitted in nicely with the elegant dress. My quote says, "Elegance does not exist in putting on a new dress." Apparently Coco Chanel said that. This is a lovely die that my friend Christina gave me. She's bought a die set that does these lovely corners. So I use that because it gives it like a gardeny, trellisy kind of feel. So I fussy cut the branches off the paper, like I said. I was a little irritated with myself because when I was working it out, I had this whole branch a little bit lower down, and then when I came to stick it down, I don't know what happened. I think I was afraid to lose the tape. I should have brought it down a fraction more, but anyway, as Forrest Gump says, shit happens. Excuse the language, sorry. So what I've done is I've hung the coat hanger off the little branch there. Can you see? I put a bit of dimensional, I popped up the branch a little bit to give it dimension. Can you see there? So I first made the dress and then put it on. The little straps are beads in some wire that are glued into the bust of the dress. Can you see? And that little red bit is part of a Tim Holtz lace die, you know, the long strip ones. And there's some ribbon there, thanks to Rula, thank you. A little aluminium flower that's been gessoed. Some seam binding. And you can see I put my quote on a little tag so it looks like it's the tag from the shops. And a little wooden flower there, and that's very much is a tag. So if you want to play along, join us at Get Creative. International submissions are very welcome, and I'll see you on Get Creative again next month. Keep well. Bye bye.